Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to NiQ Tournaments, the mainstream. Now, we have a matchup against Team Uma, or otherwise known in full length, Team Uwu Metanoia Ara Ara versus, well, it's a mouthful, even the second team. I'll shorten it to TMT, but it is Team Mga Tito Moto. And yeah, so we've gone through the bracket for the previous day, which they've both shown strong performances. One of them, Mga Tito Moto, was in the lower bracket, and we've also seen Team Metanoia dominate in their own upper bracket. Actually, they just kept stomping. And of course, I also have to introduce myself. I am Dameron. I'm going to be a play-by-play caster. With me is Ketsme outside. You can introduce yourself as well.
Good evening, good evening. I'm Kets, and I'll be your color caster with you today. And you're right, it's a very exciting semifinal here today. We've got two teams, one coming from the upper bracket, one coming from the lower bracket in groups. Metanoia, of course, being the one coming from the upper bracket, going on a very dominant run. 13-7, 13-3 in their run to get here. Whereas on the other side, still quite dominant in their last two games, even though they were lost the first one. I mean, it's going to be a good game, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I'm going through the bunch of map bands. I'm looking through the agent compositions, and you're looking at someone who dominated. Who they showed such a performance in bind. So Team Metanoia went 13-3, and that was their first matchup against another team. And you've also got Mga Tito Moto, and their first map was also bind. They ended up losing it at 13-10, so it's not that bad of a score difference, but they're most likely going to end up banning that eventually. They do have a similar map, which is Split, and both teams seem to be straying away from Lotus. One of them even agreed to play Haven at one point, but I think we're going to stay away from the three-side maps and maybe a lot of the long-range battles, in my opinion.
I agree, and especially Ascent. It looks like both teams always ban Ascent, and Metanoia having banned it last game, and
Oh shit,
Hello.
I'm not straight.
Hello.
Hello?
we only saw Matito Moto ban Bind one match after they lost on it.
Yep.
They didn't ban it last time, so we might still be able to see it again, given that they've kind of revamped their comp. They've come up with some new ideas, some fresh ideas to kind of get themselves back on that map.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I wouldn't really count Bind out, again, because been a very close score. They do have, again, also the similar map bans and agent selection. Yep. And another map I also want to point out that they've been banning constantly is Pearl. I don't think people like particularly playing on Pearl, and I'm assuming it's because of all those pesky angles and again the long range battles that you'd have on the long side of B, and maybe possibly even the long range duels that you'd have from Flowers all the way to A main. But you also do have the picks that kind of match I'd say long range battles. You have Jet picks. You also got Chamber, the revival of Chamber before the Jet nerfs her imminent death, and yeah, you've also got a bunch of flexible players on each team. So I would love to see like multiple variations of compositions. I'd also like to see, you know, maybe interesting maps, maybe Fracture even at one point. Unfortunately, though, that happens to be the second ban, and of course, we've mentioned the Lotus ban. I'm surprised to see Ascent. What do you think about that one?
They did ban Lotus, as we kind of expected them to here on the side of Metanoia, as they've always been doing. And then on the other side, we had Matito Moto ban Fracture, like they did last map. And like you said, we did get Ascent, which is quite surprising given that they both had banned in their last games. So given that, this is Metanoia's pick, maybe they've come up with some new ideas on the map. They haven't shown it at all so far in this tournament. I'm excited to see what kind of comp they run and what Matito Moto decide to play as first, since they have the pick of either defense or attack.
Yeah, that's actually true. And looking at the agents as well from the previous matches, I do expect on Ascent. I want to see Malik on Jet. That seems to be their comfort pick for as it seems it for both maps that they've played. They did pick Jet. We will see a bit of a switch up here. We do have flex players either going for the controller or for the initiator. So we're going to leave that a bit open for now. Gojo, I'm assuming, might just pick chamber anyway, just have those maybe for a double operator play here on Ascent, and I'd like to see that. I don't think we've really seen too many operator plays recently on NIQ tournaments. I haven't seen a chamber for a very long time, so I'd love to see, you know, someone to display the viability again of chamber.
You're right, and it's also important to keep in mind that we actually have two subs here today. We have Digny subbing in for Wadu on the side of Matito Moto, and Zan subbing in for the side of Metanoia in place of One for All. So we might actually see a complete change in the roles just to fit those people in, or we might just see them subbing in directly for the players that they're replacing. I'm not really too sure what direction they're gonna go in, and especially since we haven't actually seen Ascent for either of these teams, they might kind of emulate the meta compositions run by VCT teams, or we might see something more interesting, maybe a double duelist dive comp from the side of the attackers here. And we might see a chamber, but I'd be surprised if they run chamber on Ascent. But they might run it on bind here, though.
What I will say actually is looking at Wadu being subbed out for another player, Wadu playing mostly controller, we've got Viper and two Astra games. I would say if Wadu's out of the picture, then we're going to have that sub probably take that initiator role, and we're going to see Anaheim move back to how they played Brimstone on Bind. Maybe it wasn't the best performance, but maybe that's how they're going to compensate for the missing roles. Also, we've got the new bands coming in. I just realized we have Bind picked for the second map actually, and we've talked about this. We didn't want to count it out, and here it is. Split for the next set of bands, and we've also got Pearl. Finally, the decider map is going to be Haven, and yeah,
These picks look like, to me at least, right off, just on a preliminary look, they look like they favor the side of Metanoia here. Of course, neither side have again played Ascent or Haven yet at all. But the last time that Matito Moto played Bind, they
Decider
lost.
map. Oh yeah, they did.
And Metanoia actually destroyed Decently Anonymous on Bind on a 13-3 kind of steamroll the last time they played it. So they are favored on this map unless Matito Moto can kind of come up with new ideas to revamp their bind and not fall to the same issue that they did against Artemic.
Actually, looking at the bind game, for both teams, actually, Team Metanoia, they didn't opt for the two controller composition. Usually, you'd see a Viper paired with either Brimstone or Omen, but that time around, they just kind of went for something more aggressive, in my opinion. Uh, they didn't really play for more control of the map. They just wanted to take their fights. Compared to mga Tito Moto, that they would go. They actually had Viper and Brimstone on their team alongside more information. So you did have the Sky, you also had the Cypher. They're just playing a very defensive part of Bind. I think where they might have struggled, and I didn't get to check myself necessarily, but they might have struggled a little bit when it came to attacking.
That's true. And, going into Ascent here, starting off, I'm for Bind, double controller is good, but for Ascent, it's not very common for teams to run double controller, but we have seen some double controller compositions on Ascent uh, before in VCT and the main circuit of VCT. So I'm curious to see if either side is going to run these off-meta comps with the hope of catching the other side off guard, or whether they're just going to trust in themselves and run the meta comps and just play the game as standard as they can and avoid any risks. I'm hoping for the former because I love it when teams take risks, but perhaps the safer option is the better one.
No, I do agree. Actually, I do. I like. I don't know if I'd like admitting it, but when you see Loud pick the Harbor Viper, the double wall controller, and you're sat in your chair thinking, well, how is this working? But it does. I'd love to see it again. I'd like to see again, very interesting compositions off meta picks, not even compositions. So what if someone wants to play Yoru? I've seen someone pick Neon as well on Ascent. Um, Again, if it works, it works. And yeah, You can't do anything about it really if you're defending or if you don't know how to play against such a composition.
And we have seen Metanoia coming into Ascent on the attack, so we might again see double duelist if they want to really run it down and make it a really fast kind of executes on these sides, so that the side of Matsumoto can't really hold them. Or we might see a kind of a slower comp where they take mid control, push up slowly, get the control of pizza, where they break any sentinel utility that Titomoto have, and then they can make a decision on whether they want to head towards A, do an A split, or head towards B with a B split.
Yeah, I actually agree. Looking at looking at their previous compositions, I'm assuming Metanoia would go for something a bit more standard. You'd only stick to one controller, and I'd say they'd I don't know. Something tells me they'd be very fond of dry peeking different angles, getting those early picks, especially, and a lot of information in the first part of each round, and eventually just going all out aggression and playing with a team. Compared to Tito Moto, I'd say they I don't know. Something tells me about their picks before that they do like running sentinels, and that says a lot about what they want from each map. Really, they want anti-flank. They do want some sort of initiation. You maybe possibly see lurks coming in, and you do.
We see a Fioro.
Well, I mean, that's a hover for now.
That's a hover.
We did say we wanted to see off meta picks, and I did see the deadlock being hovered for a second. I was excited to see it. We haven't seen it in Champions at all. It's a finals later tonight, but we haven't seen deadlock. I don't think. I mean, personally, I don't think I've seen deadlock in NiQ tournaments.
On the side of Matito Moto, it's a very, very standard comp. On the side of Metanoia, we're seeing some very interesting picks here with not just a Yoru, but I saw them hovering a chamber as well, which they've kind of given up, it seems, on opting instead for KJ. And, well, I think we're getting a mirror comp, actually. What a shame.
Oh, unlucky. No, I was excited for something
I was so excited.
But at the same time, this is pretty much a safe pick for Ascent. And if you play the composition correctly, of course, you can snowball and just keep stomping over your enemy team. But again, I've actually predicted this correctly. Anaheim now being on the controller with the absence of Wadu, and Digny now filling in for the initiator. While you do have, of course, the Killjoy on each team, the KO just to deny, pushes, delay, and Omen is a pick that I would say has been revived ever since the very first nerfs for Astra. So I want to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and on the other side, we have Malik back on Duelist. Back on Jet that he's always been playing, and we have Zan coming in as a sub for the Initiator, who played Initiator last game, and he's subbing in exactly for that role. But we do see Asune going sort of for the KJ role here, when he's usually been a secondary duelist, raised flag, and he did top frag last game, so he is someone to watch out. But I'm not sure if he can have the same kind of impact on this Sentinel role.
Yeah, yep. As they go into the first round, actually, it looks a bit of a default here.
We have that KJ turret placed on top of the box, on top of the building, kind of hut outside B main. But it's been taken out very quickly, as it's sort of doing a B split here, it seems.
Yeah, it's a heavy presence towards that mid side in the market, and smokes are coming out just to deny that vision, but now they're going to start flooding in here towards
market. They have a 3-stack on B.
Yeah,
they have a 3-stack on B. This might be easy to hold for them.
I mean, once tucked in backside, but RKZ actually the first pick onto Gojo, another onto Zan, and Crossfade actually to trade them out, but Nair now from the backside showing presence. 4 alive for TNT, sorry, and yeah, that was a clean hold from them. There were 3 people on site. They had the right read. You did have a lot of people flooding in all at the same time, but again, their hold was really strong. No one really expecting the Jet of all people to be in the backside, and that was a good play from them.
I mean, a great read from Matito Moto, holding that B side, and the moment they heard any presence towards their mid B and B main, they had the other 2 players from A rotate to B very quickly, and they held it perfectly. Hold from both house was everything. Getting that kill on the Omen,
Enemy killed.
that's
As we
a
say
great
that
start.
already. Near with a Marshall pick onto Malik, but now a trade. Good shot from Gojo. Another heavy presence towards mid. They slow things down with the Omen smoke.
Killing that person in cat has given them so much space towards A, even though they insist on exploring. So towards mid here,
Oh, no, he's looking a bit dangerous. A TP into the open.
Enemy
A
remaining.
little bit of the whiffage here. Oh,
Spike
there's another
down, mid.
headshot from Ascent onto Ashton, and it's still looking scary as Sheriff can be very deadly, but you have to be careful about their angles. Not able to flick them off in time. Too many angles to be watched. That's a second round now to TMT as you're going into the first rifle round. But already you're hearing that gunshot. That's an operator in the third round with half shields on near.
I don't blame him. That gives you so much control towards mid if he chooses to play there, or towards B main if he chooses to play here either. And this gives you just so much control, and it's such a good pick on the bonus round because it gives you so much potential to actually increase your lead even more to a 3-0 winning the bonus round. Your economy would just be rolling off the charts. And it looks like we're getting another B split here as they're heading a bit towards mid, exploring, putting that smoking cat, getting control of the lower mid area. Someone's already dead. The op is down.
Yeah, no, okay. I did want to point out that Nier actually sold the operator and went for a Vandal instead, but those are already 2 picks within 20 seconds of this round. 3 people left on the defensive side. TMT now having to hold, and 2 people though on B. Not expecting this log's angle just yet. They're going to put a molly down just to clear it a little bit, but they don't actually look until then.
Last player
Sydney
standing.
now with a trade.
Spike down.
1v3 situation. Multiple people coming in from market, and oh, that was a close call. If for some random reason that bullet decided to go
Oh
the
my
way of Malik,
god.
yeah, that would have been a massive clutch coming out. That was 2 HP left on him, by the way.
One stray bullet would have been all it took for this to become a very, very good start for the side of Matitomoto, and a very, very devastating round 3 for the side of Metanoia. But regardless of winning the round, the damage done by Matitomoto was actually really good that round, getting them down to just 1 player, meaning that Metanoia just have 1 rifle coming into this round as they're looking to do an A split instead.
Yeah, that's a rough position for Metanoia here. They only have 1 hero rifle, even on half shields. Malik spotting someone quite late there, but able to updraft and get away from it.
Matitomoto. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
Spike down.
Anaheim
A.
already with 2 kills in A main, and now they're just slowing things down a little bit. The paranoia as well to keep them out of this A main. They're just running in. So much control over it. Even the smoke to wait. That's a spike down. No wonder.
Oh.
Digny also now with a Guardian headshot onto Malik. They're just waiting behind this corner here. The flash coming out of that Omen smoke. 1 enemy. Ripping the shots though, and someone's there for the crossfire near now with a 2K alongside Anaheim. That was a beautiful crossfire.
Matitomoto doing an incredible job at reading Metanoia here and stacking the sides, and as well, I mean, that round came down to Ashen having the wherewithal and the awareness to understand that once they took main, someone could have pushed up Cat, and having that enabled Digny to come in through trees and get that kill onto Malik, and that kind of opened up the round. And not just a flawless, but a flawless with no damage taken at all. It could not be any more perfect.
I did like that aggression towards A main as well, knowing that the spike was down, but that's an early paranoia counter flash from Ashton. Just a lot of pressure already going into B main. Having to slow things down though, since now they're detected by the KO and, oh, well, they're blocked out by that Omen smoke. But again, that massive read, look at the rotations, that's pulled so many people over from TMT, leaving Anaheim behind.
Metanoia
Pulling back
does
to
have
over.
that KJ ult available to them for use to take any side that they'd like here. And it does look like we have Asune with the KJ ult kind of exploring towards Cat. Will he use it near tree to take A quickly for rotate, or will they come back to B? It's looking like the latter for now.
Blocking
Yeah,
sight.
no cooldown yet. Josh,
Yeah.
for the Omen, but there's Gojo with the opening pick onto Ashton. Nier does get the trade. They're just waiting. They're cutting a bit of noise here, getting more information. So if they're still playing that rotation, Sherm clears out stairs, and now they're able to get onto site just now. Never mind, RKZ actually. with a pick onto Malik here with a headshot as well, but updrafting into the air,
seconds
Dr. Prostate, catching out near. No one on the side just yet. He does have the ultimate to try and reposition, but he's spotted out by that drone. Ascent coming in for the pinch from Market. Starting out with a molly, but not actually able to secure that kill. Digny now. Setting up a crossfire.
10 seconds left.
Against Dr. Prostate in 1v2 situation.
One enemy
Able to
remaining.
get the headshot. He hears the second player, but he has to plant the spike. He has no time. But Anaheim actually showing himself through lane, and the clutch now for Dr. Prostate 86. I did not expect that to happen. I was hoping Prostate would have. Well, no, sorry. I was hoping Anaheim would have played out the time there with no spike being planted at all.
I think he made a devastating mistake from Anaheim, going for that jump peak but missing the jumping. And I think he hit the edge of the wall there, and he just kind of got stuck there for Dr. Prostate to kind of come in and get the final kill. But I mean, that's a big mistake to be making when you had the opportunity to run away with the economy and push them into another save round. And they're going towards another site with 3 people. Once again, Matsumoto reading them perfectly.
Wow,
The first kill is there.
Zen gets rid of the controller, and that's a massive pick. Digny though, blind Sova ult through A main, able to get rid of that killjoy, so no lockdown available. So you're not worried about removing that Sova ultimate if there is no lockdown to deal with.
On the other hand, Matsumoto have a lockdown of their own to either deny or for the retake, but we do see Zan with his own Sova ult to be able to break that.
Well, they're sneaking in through
Sneaking
B.
in. And he gets it.
RKZ does not expect them to be that up.
He looked away.
Spike down.
Oh
B.
no! Well, there was no utility left just to keep them out or get more information. Not expecting that deep push already and just holding from stairs. Not able to get anything. Malik with a
Spike
pick onto
planted.
Nier, and now it's a retake from Digny and Ashen.
I cannot use that.
But now a 3K for Digny as he's trying to get something done. Now
gonna
has to
need the
block
ace.
one just to rip. Oh, it's the ace angle, but he gets a drone out of it while he's flashed. Oh, close
I think he thought he
round.
got out.
No, I mean, the flash was beautiful
Watch them
coming
run
out
when leaked by
from
myself.
Gojo, but that you have to give credit to. You have to give credit to Digny there. That was a near ace clutch. Just to retake that B site that was so heavily flooded, and they had so much control over market and the site itself. Yeah, that was well played from Digny, but he wasn't able to secure the round.
Digny has been perfect this half already, despite being a sub in, and has been kind of their key here as he goes for option for a guardian instead of a bulldog. And we see a judge on Anaheim as well, although he's on the wrong side.
I mean, Gojo does go in with the ultimate, able to get one before going down, and the rest of the team now trying to move in towards the side. Asune, though, wins that damage battle against Digny, now going down and able to get the res onto Gojo. So now they do have the site. Never mind, RKZ still holding from that backside, holding strong, zoned out a little bit. Support coming in from Ashton. Now he's left in a clutch situation, lands a headshot onto Asune. Still holding the
1v2.
backside, the spike. The spike is on lane, so... No, that Omen's going all the way back to
He's
A.
going for the outplay.
Yeah, he is. And now just Gojo having to hold on through here. Waiting for the rotate, actually. Trying to catch that timing. RKZ is aware that someone is left behind, so... Gojo doesn't actually get the timing. Now he's
The
free to
longer-
move over to A.
The longer Gojo waits in B main, the harder it gets for Dr. Prostate to hold the A side. RKZ might just be able to kill him and then defuse before Gojo even makes it.
That reposition into
Did he see
tree, though,
him?
wait, I don't think he did, but
He didn't see
the
it.
footstep now, yep. Now the call is being made to rotate. Now he drops onto side. Not sure if that door is closed. He taps a spike, though, TPing. Expecting that A main position, but no, he's breaking the door. Now he knows the position. The last one flash to go out, and it's beautiful. The second one, though, blinds him once again. No time left to defuse. Beautiful play from Gojo. No bullets, and
They both ran out.
in the end, it is a massive win from Gojo. Just able to hold that spike, and even with a late rotate, as soon as RKZ made a footstep into heaven, you saw him rushing towards mid through tree, and yeah, the door was closed. If the Omen, if Anaheim went down early in that fight, that would have been a free defuse, but then the reposition was beautiful, and that was almost
Yeah, Dr.
almost a try.
Prostate doing really well to hold that side, not showing himself until Gojo was ready to trade off him, and doing a really good job listening to his footsteps and outplaying Ashune there. We're going back into an A, actually picking the right side for the first time in this half as they're
Oh, that's a
heading
fake.
into a empty side, and a great KJ fake here with the ult.
See, the thing is, they're forced to rotate because they're on a bit of a save round here. Only one rifle in the name of Nier. They don't particularly...
Ascent 3!
Yeah, they did bite on the fake, but now Gojo shows himself in mid Nier with a trade. Now they're just going to have to play a retake here, but it is still pretty much a thrifty round, a broken round, in fact.
Remaining.
RKZ, now the last one alive in a 1v3 situation, is able to pick a gun up here, but they're going to chase after that. Just
As
wary
they
that the kill...
should, but it does... I think he might be going for it.
Oh, well, I'm not... I think he's going for an exit here. Now revealing his position with that gunshot, now they know where to look.
Getting a little bit close to having
he's
to
just going
fight
for an
two of
exit.
them. Yeah, he doesn't have time. I think he realizes that, and he's just gonna hold this, hoping that someone runs into him. Someone does, but he's unable to clean it up.
I was about to say that would have been a really good save, Dr. Prostate eventually going down to his spike, but holding on to that rifle would have been beneficial, as well as the fact that he did have full shields in that round alongside his Sheriff. So I think it was more worth it to save it. I know he was going for an exit frag, but in the end it wasn't worth it. Unlucky with a whiffing.
They are able to buy here. I think he was hoping that if he... As they're able to buy, it is worth noting that Metanoia have made such a good recovery on this map. Down 3-1 and now bringing it back up to 5.
Yeah, massive comeback so far. And they do realize that they have the potential to push onto A, so now they're doing more of it.
Might get this kill.
Holding on to that angle, Anaheim. Spun out by that girl, but there's too many people here. Finally, the dart reveals that there are 4 people. Malik with the 2 frags. Straight
What
up
a
back.
shot.
Nier. Wow, he has an operator. He's holding on to it.
Another one.
Might just get another, and that's it.
Three.
The 3K so far for Nier. Now they have to be careful. They just have to hold on to it. Nier with massive value.
These shots were incredible. That first shot, the micro adjustment, his crosshair wasn't even on him. That tiny adjustment to get that shot to dash away twice. What round from Nier.
They're kind of just stuck here as well. I don't think they really have the option to move away. Whips the shot for once, and now he's finally going down to Ascent. Finally getting onto the A side, not really closing the door just yet. But the Killjoy ult is still available. You also do have the KO ultimate, and they might opt trade here. You do see Killjoy repositioning for it.
30 seconds left.
Both flashes also still available. They're going to plant for hell, I think, here. I know they're actually aggressing towards heaven. Might not expect this angle just yet. Action, though. Wary of it. Gets a beautiful flash, but not able to reposition.
Player standing.
Gets one pick before
enemy
going down.
remaining.
The ultimate, though. That's so much time. He just has to run away from it.
10 seconds left.
Either you plant the spike or kill the person, and that's it. RKZ with a clutch pretty much onto Dr. Prostate with a great timing of the ultimate. And yeah, I like the awareness coming out from Ashton there. You don't really expect the reposition and the aggression towards heaven. But he just flashes it.
Ashen has been incredible with these reads. I mean, he has every read on Metanoia. Whenever they make these lurk plays, whenever they quietly push a lane that you wouldn't expect them to push, Ashton is on top of it every time. A bit of a bold play to peek and take that fight from RKZ, but it worked out for them. Getting that 4th round after 4 straight losses.
Something I just want to point out, each Jet has constantly been getting a hero rifle one way or another, just forcing that gun power. And well,
Yeah,
actually
getting one with his blade storms, opting to save this round and go for the ult instead. Already finding value.
Well, I mean, it could still be a thrifty round, especially if Gojo is popping off, but Anaheim now holding from DICE with a judge, and I don't think you really expect this for now. Jet going up to the... What? Zan with a headshot through the smoke?
Shot!
That's the judge down, and now they have to give up the side. They're forced to retake this, but wow, what an opening to the round. You have so many sheriff headshots going through. Updraft flash for Malik. Not sure they can still get anything done just now. But
Coming down
Ashton
to a
with a good...
3v4 retake here.
Oh, they don't...
2v3
One enemy
retake.
remaining.
Xanther ratting it out and Wine able to get rid of his mirror here.
Right here.
And that is pretty much a thrifty round, yeah. That was a broken buy from the side
We
of
are strong
Metanoia, but they
because
were
we are
able to pull
together.
it off.
Don't forget
Especially with that, I'm not over it. That headshot through the smoke was crazy. I don't know how they managed to find a pixel of the Omen and capitalize off it.
Such a good round from Gojo and Zan with those sheriffs getting those headshots. I mean, Matsumoto must be kicking themselves for that one. Truly a disastrous round. Now they're down to a forced buy with two people having to save their guns.
Shadows.
We see Malik, however, with saving as well on the side of Metanoia with his knives out. And
Revealing
3 ults for either side.
There they are.
Now the spam going in through the wall of B main. Still getting tagged out by that drone while trades coming out throughout the map. Malik though with a spike. And the ultimate tries to get onto site, but now they have that in their possession. 3 people now holding for it as the rotates are coming out late from Metanoia. Just a disaster for them. As I'm not sure why Malik had the spike. Maybe he was going for a fast plant. But now with 55 seconds left into the round, it looks done and dusted. Even if they did have a broken buy again, we're seeing multiple conversions in economy here.
Placing sentry.
They're going in. I mean, look at how far Asune has
Last
pushed
player
out.
standing.
Getting popped by near there, holding that angle, fully aware that someone must be pushing up.
Finally, the information for that last player, Zan, not able to clutch it out. And oh, that's a difficult clutch to begin with. Now
Last
5 to
round
6.
in the half.
Very close game so far between Metanoia and TMT. And everyone pretty much doing their jobs. You're looking at the scoreboard and you can't really say someone isn't doing their job. They're playing their roles perfectly, in my opinion. You do see the teamwork from both sides, and anything can go in the second half. But I still have to commend the fact that Metanoia is able to come back from that really early difference compared to...
I mean, a great first half from Metanoia regardless. 6 rounds on attack on Ascent is so good. 7 could be even better going into a 3v4.
That aggression is not working out on the side of TMT. I think they were looking for an aggressive... They were going aggressive here, and I just didn't pan out whatsoever.
Down to a 2v3 in favor of Metanoia as they still haven't actually taken much control of the map. Being careful not to make any noise or give away their position. Hoping that they go to the side with just 1 player so that they can overwhelm them.
Asune, though, aware that Killjoy is still in range of her utility, while the rest of Metanoia, they do go towards mid. But this still is a numbers advantage. You also do have
should run.
all 3 ultimates, by the way, on the side of
Another fake.
Metanoia. A little bit of a fake here, but Digny, wary of it, gets a pick onto
Standing
Gojo,
ahead.
gets more information towards B main, but that Omen still has his ultimate. They still might
30
opt for the
seconds
B
left.
push here. Now with 30 seconds left, that drone can still spot him out if he does go towards backside.
We might be seeing a fight in defender spawn here.
Yeah, we get this
Last player
Killjoy,
standing.
yeah.
With 15 seconds left, they know that Asset's clear now, knowing that Gojo here, sorry, Digny here is
10
I get him.
seconds left.
Yeah, that's the information already. Asune spots out Digny, still
Spike
hanging
planted.
back in B. Now they have control of it.
Metanoia are so good. This is the exact same round we saw earlier. They're so good in this situation.
He does
And
have a
look
dart,
at
and
Dr. Prostate.
he doesn't check behind the smoke, expecting him to be
There's no
inside.
way
I don't
he
think he
knows.
knows. Yep. Dr. Prostate with the off angle, and it's vertical as well. It's a difficult assumption, but that's
Switching
a
sides.
beautiful play and a beautiful call coming out from the side of Metanoia just getting that pick onto the Killjoy and being aware that Digny was still hanging around in B. Lots of good,
Perfect.
yeah, like these mid-round decisions are so valuable. On you can't really say it's just for TMT or for Metanoia. It's for both sides. You can see them really turning their gears here and working as a
Metanoia
team.
used that KJL twice, and both times were for a
Fakes.
fake. And they play that same run twice, where where Omen runs to A, plants, while one person holds B main, hoping to catch them off guard, and it worked every time with a perfect off angle too from Omen. That's a perfect flash.
Creating paranoias already, but the information is
Bomb
onto
grenade
B side. Not going in just yet though. Going back to that Killjoy thought, by the way, the first time was a successful fake, but the second one they said, wait, hold on a minute. We've seen this in the previous round and we don't want to rotate just yet. And that's exactly what Digny did. Now they're flooding in through the tree as it's a little bit open, no turret holding it from bricks. As now they're hearing the footsteps and pretty much the only one on site for now is Asune. In fact, holding from heaven. Don't think they really expect this box hold with a pistol. It's much more visible when you do have a rifle, but already the kills coming out. Gojo, in fact, to the nade, the engineer, and the retake looking successful just so far. Anaheim though, 3K so far in
Player
hell.
standing.
Zan with a trade.
Spike down.
So 1v2.
A.
Left alone in heaven, but they're holding from hell, and the spike is there. If he drops down, if he tries to get a pick, I think the crossfire should be good, and he does have a turret.
They're doing the smart thing by holding one side together so that they can trade off each other rather than being isolated.
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
no,
They're
but they both made noise there. I think he's aware that both are in hell. Malik gets the better of that duel.
A great pistol round just to solidify the comeback from Metanoia. Able to go up to 8 against the 5 from Matito Moto. This is going to be a very difficult map to recover for the side of Matito Moto because without the pistol being down on the first half, I think they're going to have to win this. They're going to have to win the bonus and then not lose a round for a while after that. And this might be the last round that they're allowed to lose in a while.
That's true, but you never know with these teams, really. We've been seeing them being very dangerous with those sheriffs and with the lower buys. I don't think we've
lot
really
of
seen a
presence
push
with
through
mid.
mid. Yeah, like, this is the first time I've seen this heavy of a push towards mid, but I think they have the hold down still.
Dr. Prostate holding high up in mid with that Marshall, able to kind of... He's got the buzzer flash.
And he actually, wow, RKZ, 2 quick kills with that sheriff. I said they were dangerous. Even if they had the lower buy, it's down to a 2v4 and the guns are picked, well, one is picked up, it's an Ares, and especially against Spectres, that doesn't seem to be a healthy fight to be taking.
This is such a good round for Matito Moto to win. Having lost that pistol, to recover here would mean that the bonus round is actually in their favor, and it's not a bonus at all.
Not expecting someone still holding from B main though. A little bit cautious of it, but then he's just trying to get the spams out towards side. Now finally spotting RKZ. That's the Ares down. Now they're left on sheriffs. 2 Spectres left, but the time is ticking down. The flash not really catching anyone just yet. There's a second. And those sheriffs have so much value every single time. I don't think we've seen a round that a thrifty round where a sheriff hasn't gotten more than at least 1 kill.
These players on both sides are so good with the sheriffs. And again, I just want to point out, I'm in love with Ashton and his awareness, peeking out at the perfect time, waiting patiently for his teammates to take contact so he can trade off them. And he's been so good on these trades and playing with his team.
Ashen is lore accurate KO, guys. He's downloaded everyone into his brain. And yeah, there it is. The open
There it is
pick
again.
attack from Ashton onto Asune, and that's the A side open. Quick take for TNT. This man, he's popping off. Near as well with the second frag onto Zan. He's just dominating heaven at the
One enemy
moment.
remaining.
Speaking of popping off, Nears is getting 2 back-to-back.
Spike
Not a
planted.
prostate only with a classic. Wait, whoa. I say it's just a classic, but it's doing so much damage. That's 2 players down from Dr. Prostate. Picks up a Spectre, but now they're just going spamming in heaven. RKZ secures that kill, and now, listen, I'm not going to doubt the classic ever again. I say, oh man, look at the disadvantage, but 2 headshots straight off the bat onto Digny, and another right-click kill onto Ashton.
Sentry.
It was a tall task to ask of Zan with just 20 HP and a classic, but he got 2. Almost tall enough to get on the right, but not quite there.
Now, something to note here, they are going towards A, but RKZ to pick up that ultimate and then possibly just throw down the lockdown here.
It's
Trying
very
to counter
fast, I
aggression
would
there.
say.
One down.
Malik
Oh.
and Gojo aware of that possibility, so they do get that first pick, but then now the lockdown is available.
They
No
have
ultimates just yet.
You should run.
Matito Metanoia have 4 people on the A side here. If Matito Moto commit to this, they might be heading into a very difficult take. Are they just gonna sit in it?
They do go in finally at that
2
last
detained.
second. Where? In tree? Yeah, okay.
In trees.
Here, though, pushes aggressively into it just to make the most value out of that Killjoy lockdown. Anaheim here to support. Gets one before going down. It's near. Still holding from tree. They are aware of this. So Malik is still cautious. Finds the head
My ult's
of
ready.
Digny.
Malik squeezes through before Nier can come out of catwalk here.
Last player standing.
Near not able to get that pinch, and Malik still continuing that defuse as Zan holding the angle with a final kill onto RKZ. Now that is 1 point closer to that ultimate. And they also pick up the Odin, so they're able to keep spamming towards B main.
Both Jets having their ults online now, but that was a big mistake from Nier, holding Cat a bit too long as Malik kind of slips by him in trees and gets onto side out of his grasp, and that was, I think, that was the moment that round was won for the side of Metanoia. If Nier was able to get that kill on Malik, I think that round would have gone the way of Matito Moto.
I agree. If that pinch from tree came in successfully, that would have been round number 8, of course. That's the first thing, but you will have that really clutch performance and play from Nier, but now he's going in aggressively. Has to be careful about that Odin just spamming through. Blinded though, the paranoia to trade it out, and now they're just going to
An
flood into
incredibly fast B-side hit, flooding from both sides.
He's from backside now, but Nier still just jumping around like a leapfrog. Ashton now gets rid of the smokes as they have full control of the side.
A flawless take from the side of Matito Moto here.
Spike planted.
That Blade Storm coming in really handy there, being able to take care of Asune early on.
Enemy down.
Yeah, just
Another
the team
kill
were
coming
coming
in.
out,
Enemy
breaking their
remaining.
crosshair placements, and even with Digny going down, that was pretty much a clean round. Coming out from TNT, you know, the Jet wasn't really checked for, pushing in from stairs. So much angles to watch out for if you're alone on site, and Prostate not able to help out from the backside, as there was so much utility being thrown at him onto the side, and not able to help his teammate out.
Yeah, Matito Moto doing a really, really good job recovering in this half, actually starting to play as a team, flooding in together from both sides, timing their floods perfectly. It's looking good in this half for them. They're actually starting to win it.
Every time it goes for a massive or maybe a significant score gap, somehow it always...
Malik holding in the smoke. He might get
That's
one.
a-
He gets
Maybe
one!
gets another one. He doesn't get the... Doesn't really get the gun, but really low in health, gets the damage on. That might just be enough, in my opinion.
It's
You're
good.
now in
It's
5 HP. Yeah.
good that he's not greedy. He gets one, he gets out, he realizes that he did hit another person. And he can just pull back and he can let them come to him. They can trade off each other. They have the advantage. Matito Moro's kind of contained in mid here. As we see Anaheim teleporting to A heaven. Another
Malika,
one.
though, 26 HP in a dream. He is still getting so much value out of that.
Dr. Prostate not fully aware of Anaheim's position, but finding him now.
As Zan was looking the right direction, just wary of that Omen TP onto heaven, and Dr. Prostate to secure the kill.
These
Now
players
it's
are
5v3.
so
30
good with
seconds
these
left.
eco rounds or these sheriffs. Knowing when to take aggressive fights, knowing when to pull
One
back.
enemy remaining. Placing swamp
Zan
grenade.
finally to go down, but I don't know. I don't think RKZ can really. What is that teleport? He just shoots him completely. That ornament movement. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what I watched, but I didn't even know where he TP'd it myself.
What
I
a
was confused.
play. Dr. Prostate TPing to get that information so Gojo can just run down sidewalk, knowing that RKZ is never going to be looking at him. I mean, perfectly played. From
That's
the
a
side
timeout
of
coming in. Yeah.
NiQ.
Oh no, that's from TMT. TMT does call the timeout, but after that round, I think they're just going to try and slow things down. I think after that play, especially, you know, Dr. Prostate being a massive Giga Chad team player, by the way, with that crazy TP and everything. I think they're hyping themselves up and they're thinking what their next steps are, especially with 3 ultimates available for the side of Metanoia.
Yeah, I mean, you see Nier and RKC doing incredible work every round, but the team as a whole is unable to kind of pull through on these rounds in Metanoia. I mean, Malik, that round was incredible, getting the first pick with the Sheriff and then backing off, playing safe, and getting another kill on 26 HP. That's his round right there. And of course, Dr. Prostate. I mean, even if he died, it would have been a 3v1 and Dr. Gojo, or not Dr. Gojo, just Gojo. He hasn't gotten his doctorate yet.
Nah.
He's still working on it. Perfectly coming in from sidewalk. I mean, what a great round from Metanoia to kind of pull themselves back into this half. They were on a save and now they can buy. And the economy is looking great. They can buy for 2 rounds in a row even. B.
RKZ already going down this early. That is a lot of utility already removed from it. Jet as well.
Anaheim
destroyed.
top mid holding in case Dr. Prostate was to push out.
Not able to find someone close right over. Dr. Prostate jumping around. I think he's playing the wrong game. This is not Overwatch, mate. But Ascent still holding strong from A, has all utility ready just to pop. I think they do expect that Killjoy to be holding from Hell. Hearing the reloads, he calls his teammates over. No, actually, they don't clear Hell just then. And Digny does get Vold, but they need to get rid of
One
Ascent.
enemy remaining.
Another kill.
Zando to clean up with that Hunter's Fury, and now Nier
I got the spike.
juggling a bunch of the guns, trying to find more ammo, and Dr. Prostate now and Zan working together, holding that crossfire just for now until they do get a plant in the board.
Pushing together, great work as a team, hoping to trade off each other here.
Just trying to get that sound bait from that
30
spike,
seconds
and
left.
now they know
One
it's a
enemy
fake, and wow,
remaining.
a quick flick onto Dr. Prostate, and that's a clutch from Nier.
Get out.
Gets both! What?
I thought that round was going. I thought that round was going to Metanoia, but apparently not. And now they're mad about it since Malik is just straight up buying an operator.
I did too. I mean, they played it perfectly, breaking the door to create pressure, meaning that Nier has no idea whether they'll come from heaven or short. But unfortunately, coming out of that smoke, unaware of where Nier is, and then just missing out on that trade. And then Nier, I mean, perfect shots, headshots only. What a round from him. Exactly
Yeah.
what TMT needed to get back into this again.
Being able to isolate those duels, especially when you know or you have that possibility that they're playing together, that was a difficult clutch coming out from Nier, but he pulled it off completely fine. Again, Ascent alone on the side, but that's the KO to entry. They're able to take this for free. Nothing really to stop them as the Killjoy utility is not able to get activated here. Now they're trying to hard clear Hell from last time.
Look at Dr. Prostate here, going for the flank. He might be able to get it.
Yeah, but that's the attacking Killjoy ultimate down. And he has to get this.
He gets one.
Well, actually, 3 kills swinging in the favor of
Running into
Metanoia.
he's running into the ult. He breaks
That's
it.
a lockdown destroyed. Now they're just gonna keep running in here. Last player noted it's Nier. Can he get another clutch off of this? Another headshot. Nope, that's a 3K for Gojo. Shuts down Nier finally. Not able to clutch that one.
The perfect flank from Dr. Prostate. Timing is perfect. He runs through mid, knowing that the gunfight and the chaos on site is going to mask his footsteps, and he gets there in time. He gets rid of RKZ, and then he gets rid of the lockdown in time for his team to flood from heaven and get the round. Near getting 2, but not enough.
I mean, that was a strong retake, if anything. Not only with Dr. Prostate, you know, getting that massive flank out of it, but you know, playing with what they had, and especially getting pushed out by that KO ult initially, they were still able to secure a round out of that.
This has so far been such a good map 1. Both teams going back and forth, especially in the second half as Ascent gets the first pick.
Yeah, it's a battle
Onto
sentinel, if
Nair.
anything. Just a straight up aggressive peek towards B main. Not even the jet with the operator holding now from the boathouse itself. Slowing things
was
down.
Banking on that KJ dash.
Omen, there's an Omen battle here though. I'm not sure Prostate expects Anaheim here. He brings out the teleport, and now that's a gun for him, but he doesn't say, he still doesn't have armor.
Dr. Prostate a little confused as to what agent he's playing, hoping to maybe satchel out or dash away as he pulls the teleport out almost on instinct and getting punished for it. Gojo
I
has
think
a
that's the
great
first
angle
time.
here.
I mean, that was the first time we've seen someone hanging so behind for his team. Gojo not able to land that headshot though. Finally spots multiple, but Anaheim,
I cannot use
quick with a trigger, is able to flick up to Gojo. Malik though. Malik is slick with the operator, just for now, but now they're getting onto this side, and that
30
Molly to
seconds
keep them out. Hunter's Fury as well. Getting rid of that Killjoy ultimate. Not able to get it done, but Asane's gone himself.
I
Now
think
the
that's a
TP.
worthwhile trade, getting rid of the Killjoy himself.
But now it's a solo side for
And planted.
Anaheim. Malik with another pick onto Digny. If they get rid of his Omen, it's pretty much game over. Asane though. Sorry,
Last player
RKZ.
standing.
Making
From
hit
B
here
main.
in time. A retake with the op is going to be difficult. He's going to need at least 1, and he can pop his knives right after that.
That's
Making it
true.
much more doable.
Too many angles to clear. I think he realizes this himself, and then he
Opting to save.
yeah, he can't do anything, especially with 45 HP. And that heavy crossfire onto the side, just holding it down. I think they're going to even opt to die for this instead of giving themselves to that jet. But here's the thing, even if they did go down, that would have... Everyone's economy at the moment is in shambles. No one can really keep buying here, and you're already seeing it actually. Metanoia with no money left in the bank.
I'm expecting METANOIA to save here. I mean, they're Matito Moto still around behind, so METANOIA have the leeway to save here and then have a full goodbye the next round to get them to match point, and that does seem like what they're going for. Malik does have the op. He still has it.
No, I think what they're trying to do here is get that orb for him to use his ultimate, but already that aggression towards A main, they're wary of it, and near a shot through the smoke, assisted by that Sova guard. Digny now with another pick onto Dr. Prostate. What's going on with these smoke picks? Gojo with only a shorty tries to break that door, but someone's right behind it, and actually 2 people are right behind it. If they break it, he's dead, just like that. And now it's a 2v.
Last player standing.
Well, no, 1v5 retake. Asane now only with a stinger, here's the shots, the footsteps from near, even jumping around, not with the knives, gets the final pick onto Asane, and that is a flawless round, now tying it up at 11-11.
Watching Matito Moto attack has been such a treat for all of us. The way that they can coordinate their utility, the way that they push together as a team, trading off each other, has been so good. That push into A with that recon to get Jet, to get Malik, who they know has the op because they know he saved it, was perfect. And such an important kill to open that round and blow it wide open.
TFG had that read that Jet really wanted that ultimate, but now near the first one to go down.
A big kill. Nier has been so good for the side of TNT.
The operator is still in the bag though. Now being picked up as Anaheim just charging into the site. Ashen to close the door here. Now it's broken, but now they're just going to have to swing Gojo here. Finally, the trade is out from Ashton, and now they have control of the site. Door is finally broken. Now in a 3v2
planted.
situation.
Ashton planting slightly off default, but they do opt to play on site and hold it
Placing
from
swamp
there. So it doesn't really affect them too much. Did Ashton spot him? He will
I'm
now.
not sure.
Perfect
Fascinating, though.
accuracy.
Able to get RKZ out of the photo, and now they're going to
Last
zone
player standing.
Ashton out of the generator.
Oh,
But the quick headshots onto Ascent and Zan closes off a round. Now TMT
Match
at
point.
12-11. That's match point. And really, who expected this game to be this close? It started off 3-1 with a massive comeback from METANOIA. And now we're looking at the scoreboard. It's 12-11. We might even see an overtime here.
it's a comeback on another comeback, and now we might actually see an overtime. That round was so good from Anaheim, teleporting onto side, getting two, and then Ashton, of course, the rock of this team. A little quiet on the scoreboard, but not quiet at all when you really think about it.
I was about to make a pun, to be honest. You know, comeback after comeback. This is the NiQ comeback tournament after all. But yeah, you still have that Blade Storm, and it is actually activated by Malik with a Judge. I'm not a big. I mean, we do love seeing Judge Jet, who repositions to a much more aggressive angle towards A main, as they do back out of B. So this might be the correct call, especially with that knife being used recently. They have to be careful about Malik holding this
Malik
angle.
holding so close with a Judge, they might just walk right into him.
I think it's gonna happen. They don't expect it to this close, and never mind, Anaheim, quick to it, has a lot of HP taken away, but now Ashton running in with the rest of his team towards A. Not really expecting Zan here, near
This
him
might be
with
it.
that. Yeah, I think this is the round. It's now down to 3v5. They need a
Spike
miracle.
planted.
Gojo now with a counter ult now available. I don't know, it's still a difficult retake, especially with RKZ getting rid of Dr. Frost save. And Gojo actually going down. Now it's essentially a 1v1. Asune only with
player
a Spectre,
standing.
not able to close the round out. And that is
Attackers
13-11 GG. TMT, the first winners of this matchup series. And of all maps, by the way, we've mentioned this, it's Ascent. Something we didn't expect to get thrown in our faces. Something we didn't really... We didn't think it was going to get picked at all.
Both teams so good on this map. I mean, the attack sides were so good. The defense sides were not so good for either team, but the attack sides for both team so coordinated, playing together perfectly. I mean, utility was so good. As we head into Bind, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win that?
I mean, if TMT continues to play like this, I genuinely think they're able to close out Bind as well. And you're looking at how each team is playing. If both teams play attack better than they do defense, then I'd like to see a lot of teleports going through. I'd like to see, you know, all the really good calls coming out from each side, actually, because you do have people who are aware about the flanking positions. You have people who are wary of angles that they might be holding. Even with that Judge, by the way, holding such an aggressive angle, but able to get rid of it. And that was also the Blade Storm, a lot of power to their name. It can go to anyone at this point, but at the moment I see a lot more synergy with TMT able to close rounds out.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one, actually, because I think Metanoia, on the other hand, I mean, they destroyed Unbind against the last time they played against a decently
You had to
anonymous.
remind me. I do have to remind myself even that, yeah, TMT didn't do too great on Bind.
They did not.
It was
It wasn't too bad, yeah.
It was a close game. It's more of just Metanoia being the more powerful team, closing it at 13-3. So again, anything can happen. I guess this is just a stronger performance, especially from Anaheim that we've seen from the previous games. So I want to see it happen.
But I don't disagree with you that much, because I honestly, this was a much closer game than I thought it would be. And having seen what TMT, what Matito can do on attack, on Ascent, another very defender-sided map, I actually have a lot of faith in them to be able to still put up a good fight and maybe even win Bind, even though the odds are stacked against them. I wouldn't be too surprised if that were the case.
Yeah, I mean, last thoughts for me is that I I mean, for Bind especially, we really can't count any team out. And yeah, I'd like to well, for entertainment purposes, before I go, I'd like to see a map 3. That's as far as I'm going. You know what? Even if I do believe in TMT, I want to see a map 3.
All right, and with that, we'll head to a quick break, I think, and then we'll come back and we'll go right into Bind, and I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'm hoping for map 3 as well. Well, we'll see what happens when we come back.
Alrighty, welcome back to the NiQ Comeback Tournament. This is a quarterfinals, and it's currently Team Metanoia against Team TMT. Now, previous game, it was Ascent, and TMT did come out on top, and this is a strong performance from them, actually, from both teams. So, TMT, they did lose like one map, which is Bind, but that's about it. Ever since then, they've been showing themselves they've been proving themselves really well here. And Team Uma, though, you really can't count them out here. You have to give them a lot of credit for what they're doing. They do have a lot of reads and a lot of synergy, and it's I'd say on par and maybe potentially better than TMT maybe in this next map.
Going into Bind, what you're saying is absolutely true. I mean, the last time we saw both of these teams on Bind, we saw Metanoia absolutely demolishing their opponents, and on the other side, we saw Matito, we saw TMT losing in a close match against Bind. So I do still favor Metanoia here. I'm excited to see what kind of comp they run. The last time we saw them, TMT did run the Fnatic comp with that Viper, Brim, and Cypher.
I mean, I do expect the Sky to be picked. It's always an initiator that people do favor coming into Bind. Viper as well, but even if you do pick a Viper, you'd of course have to see a second controller. If you don't, then that's going to be a very interesting thing, because that means they're going to have to hard commit onto his side. And RKZ actually opting for a Sentinel here, I'd say would be more defensive. And there it is, actually. I think they're going for their previous composition here, locking in that Brimstone, that Viper, and you've also got the Cypher, and actually near on the Raze.
Yeah, so we're getting the Fnatic comp again, and we might be seeing a mirror comp on the side of Metanoia here as well. Another mirror comp again, since Ascent was the same in the sense that it was a mirror comp as well. Oh, is Metanoia going to play that Chamber instead?
I mean...
No, doesn't seem like it.
Unlucky. I would have loved to see Chamber again and, you know, take such aggressive fights into Bind, but looking at it, it seems to be a mirror matchup
agent.
again. What's interesting in this mirror matchup, actually, if you're looking at the previous picks of Metanoia, none of them actually played a Sentinel before. So Gojo now being, well, except for Chamber, I wouldn't really count him as
That's true.
a Sentinel, but you know, my point is, right, like a pure Sentinel now on Cypher, that's an interesting look from them, and I'm not sure if they did their homework coming into this, if that's just something that they'd prefer at the moment, but again, another mirror matchup.
It's a great composition, especially for the side of Metanoia starting out on defense here. I mean, this is the Fnatic comp that we saw them running during the league of the EMEA league in the main VCD circuit, and it has been so good on defense for Fnatic, and I'm expecting it to be as good for Metanoia here, provided that they make use of that Cypher utility to not just hold and anchor sites, but to make inferences off of and to stack the opposite side when necessary, leaving Gojo to be able to anchor that side.
Yeah, I mean, if anything as well, you'd have a lot of control over the map, especially with those Brimstone smokes being annoying to deal with. They last for a lifetime. And the Viper Toxins, of course, to keep you delayed, and pairing it up with multiple utility, actually. You've got the Raze nades, you've got even the Brimstone mollies. It's a lot to deal with.
Metanoia going for early control of Belong here to get that orb as TMT push fast into Hookah.
Yeah, that's a massive rush onto it, but then most players actually from TMT are here. No, sorry, Metanoia. Gojo with a quick 2 kills already and 2 shreds to follow. They're on the side. Everyone's blind at the moment. They're not really expecting Gojo to be in that tunnel and Dr. Prostate to close it out. Actually, they're the only 2 people on the team to get those kills, but that was already, again, this beautiful read coming out from them, just stacking B side, leaving only one person to anchor on A, and winning that round out.
A great start for both Dr. Gojo and Dr. Again, Gojo. I mean, I keep thinking he has his doctorate. For Dr. Prostate and Gojo. Dr. Prostate actually top fragged last time they played Bind on Gecko. So maybe he's looking to recreate that performance here. And if he does, I'm worried for the side of TMT.
I mean, but looking at Dr. Prostate's pick, you know, Gecko, Astra, I'm not sure how he'd perform on Viper, so this is the very first time I think we're seeing him on Viper, in fact. As now we're holding out towards Showers and A short, with that Viper utility able to cross over to U-Hole.
They've taken U-Hall very easily with all that Viper wall. All of them kind of hanging out there, and Stein gets
But
two.
That responds
Spike
really
down
well
A.
here. RKZ to clean it up with a classic so far. Another shot onto
player
Malik would
standing.
spell the death of him, but able to win that out. That trade was coming in. If they didn't have any vision towards that A short side, you saw that push coming in and the first blood actually going down in Showers. Now near in a 1v4 situation, only a sheriff in hand. But as I said that, every time I say it's only this gun, that gun, it works out. I think there's still a trip here, so he's not worried about it. Finally, Gojo hears the footstep. He lands a headshot onto Nier with that Vandal, and the Sheriff now picked up.
A very strong anti-eco there, only losing one person in that round, which allows them to go into this bonus with actually a good chance of winning it. Pretty solid guns. 2 rifles. Or, yeah, 2 rifles, 2 Spectres, and a Sheriff. I mean, this is a winnable bonus for the side of Metanoia, which would be an incredible start to the map.
Yeah, already, as you predicted, and as you mentioned, Metanoia just showing their dominance again. You want here on Bind. I don't know what side they started off on the last time they played it, but either ways, Bind seems to be their comfort map here. And again, the push towards A.
Will they expect this trip here?
Maybe they do.
It's in
but
front
they
of them.
act- Well, that's one trip down, not able to wallbang. It's a massive block behind it, actually.
Spike
Near
planted.
the first one to fall.
Here.
As they're now in a 4v5 retake situation. Anaheim. Get the picks onto them.
Gojo gets one.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, now the health are quite low. They have a Sky, but never
Last
mind.
player
No one to heal
standing.
them up. Cypher lower in health, and the Viper potentially actually holding on site, not opting for any lineups as Cypher rotates around
One
towards
enemy
Shower.
remaining.
He's low.
Now the
The last
look
is
at that.
actually low.
Gojo gets that information, finally gets that position onto RKZ. Low in health here. Anything could work out, but the swing is much better from RKZ and wins a round out. It's still a lot of damage though coming from Metanoia.
RKZ, the savior for the side of the Matitomoto, down to 40 HP, makes that wide swing, expecting to catch him off guard, and he does. I mean, what an important round to win. If they had lost that, down 3-0, losing the bonus, would be devastating. But thankfully, RKZ to the rescue. They make it a bit closer, and now we're heading into the big round with everybody having their rifles except for Nier, who's going for probably a double satchel here.
Well, you do see RKZ hanging a little back, even getting a bit of that sound cue coming out from B-Long. But now, as you mentioned, actually, Nier running into sight with the double satchel and the judge is holding from U-Haul. Such a close position. The nade, a little wide, but now it's a lot of damage onto Nier.
He gets one!
It's just jumping in. You know what? Who's that one player from Billy? That might be the case. RKZ, though, really with a straight up cross state, and they're just running in with a lot of squabbles happening in that CT side. Now more holds being held in the U-Haul as Cypher again backing out and trying to rotate over to Showers. I don't know how they're going to retake this with so many angles to clear, and that time again going down.
Gojo down to about half his HP, and they've decided to save. A smart decision, not wanting to lose these rifles, going into a save as well.
They're also able to swap out that Bulldog for a Vandal, and I think that's a lot. That's the most you can do in this round at this point, with no time left and not much agency coming back for that retake. It's unwinnable.
They just need to be able to hold these sites a little bit better. Getting caught out by a double satcheling judge, especially long after the double satchel, is not is not going to be a good thing going forward if that keeps happening, because they need to be aware that this is a possibility when the opponents play raise. Going into a save now, it's a semi-save with those 2 rifles saved from the last round. There's still a chance for Metanoia to pick up this round and get back into this map.
Hey, I mean, I'd love to see Nier do a full-on YZ cosplay. That's the one. I remember the name. I would love to see more YZ plays coming out, just double sexually and getting so much value out of that judge. But you know, he's done his damage. He's gotten this value out of it, and Nier actually swapping over to the Vandal. First pick onto Ascent as Gojo though, with a trades onto it, 21 HP left, and he's getting chunked down even more by that Viper Molly, but no, he gets a 3k so far. Has to be careful about that nade, but Digny now with a classic. Straight to the head of him, as RKZ also now with the trades, and now it's to Dr. Prostate, whose position is now revealed exactly where he is, and that's the first ping coming out. Now they're just tapping the spike, and now they're just back on the way. Nope, goodbye. We're going back to A. Yeah, no.
Gojo did everything he could on that side. He's 11 and 2 down, up right now. Unfortunately, not able to get that last kill onto Digny.
Spike planted.
Really secure that site. I mean, still great from the side of Metanoia to get them down to just 2. If they can get 1 more kill, that would be a very, very effective save round, regardless of the loss of the round.
Oh, he got rid of a trip, so now they know for sure he's playing.
Remaining.
But actually,
He has a gun.
yeah, no. He's on low health here. The last one holding from U-Haul, just tucked into it. Now on 8 HP, I think he's just going to keep out of this.
He
Maybe get an
realizes he
exit frag.
doesn't have time, really.
Especially with that Viper on, you know, the Viper health difference at the moment. It's not going to be a good idea to run back in and maybe try and get an exit frag, just save the gun, and now he hears a TP, so he knows he's safe.
Still a great save round from the side of Metanoia. Dr. Prostate tripping but not falling and getting the kill right at the end to really damage the economy and make sure that it's not really getting away from them on the side of Matitomoto as we start a timeout from the side of Metanoia.
Actually, that when the Cypher ultimate came out, you know, it had the first ping, and they were waiting for that second ping to be activated, and they did tap the spike, but that pretty much gave Dr. Prostate that gun. That's the reason why he was able to pick up a Vandal, because everyone died on this site thanks to RKZ. Oh no, sorry, Gojo. And that's the reason why he was able to get 1 kill before backing out for the save. And already, that's a good advantage, but they do call for the timeout.
I mean, this is an important timeout. They've lost 3 rounds in a row despite winning the pistol and the anti-eco there. So they really need to stabilize here on the defensive half, because that's really where you should be getting most of your rounds on bind, especially because of these choke points. And since you have a Cypher and double controller, this is the half that you want Metanoia to really be racking up these rounds. I'm expecting at least a 7-5 in favor of them. So this is an important timeout for them to really come up with an idea of how they want to change it up here to ensure that they don't keep losing these rounds.
They could change things up for sure, but here's another change up for you. Anaheim, the Brimstone has an operator and half shields about to peek into showers. I'm just saying this is going to be exciting to watch if he gets a pick.
Right
but
here.
yeah, straight away, just getting that control with that Brimstone smoke. And yeah, mate, I don't know if you're going to be able to do anything without operator. And
Anaheim with
Skyler.
his Boaster cosplay here on bind, just the same agent, the
On my
same
mark.
positioning and everything. He might be able to catch. He might be able to catch Malik off here.
Is it
in
me?
Bath.
That crosshair is massive. Actually, yep, there it is. Anaheim
There it
with
is.
the first pick on a Malik. And who knows? Why does a Brimstone have an operator? You peek it and you're suddenly thinking, yeah, maybe I can win that headshot. But then playing against an operator is completely different, as they still opt to go into A site with 3 people holding and leaving that Viper on B just to anchor. Smoke's now going down, and the satchel going in. Still someone holding from U-Haul, and they're clearing the site. 1 nade to go to backside. Okay, the trade. Asimova gets rid of the Viper. The Brimstone ult forces Ashton to reposition for that plant as Gojo actually still holding from U-Haul. They really haven't cleared this, but they don't have to. They know that Cypher's a rat in there. Finally
Near here's
spotting
one
him
in
out.
heaven.
Yeah. even Ashton being aware that there might be a
enemy
flank at Anaheim with another operator kill, you really don't expect a Brimstone to be holding that weapon in their hands. And now a shorty sound baiting, and Ashton with that crossfire. Anaheim is providing so much value, not only with the kills, but that supporting utility, that supporting hold. It's insane.
What a great round from Anaheim, and I know that Matsumoto are absolutely not regretting that operator buy at all. With him able to get 2 kills in that round, the opening one and an important one towards U-Haul there, as they're now heading towards a B split. It seems he still has that operator. He's upgraded his shields, and it does seem like he's heading towards B long, hoping to catch the Sky, who usually hangs out there, off guard.
It is a rat buy though coming out from
Dr.
Team
Frost.
Metanoia. Near able to satchel over that
I've got
Viper
your
molly.
trail.
And the site is actually pretty much open. Only Dr. Prostate holding from Hookah with a Judge, and now the rotate coming in, but those are still really bad weapons to go up against unless Nier is able to get a pick. But Dr. Prostate again, the blam 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 from the Judge. Another TP coming in from his teammate. Smoking it out just to get that gun swap. Still having to retake though, Ascent only with a stinger. It's a bit of a damage.
He gets
done,
one.
actually. Yeah.
One
Ashton
enemy remaining.
just spraying it down, and
Oh
that's
my
a 4K from Ashton.
God, Ashton just cleaning up the entire defensive team here.
Stay keen.
Nah, he's
Better not
sweeping
be
the floor
good,
with that
dangerous.
Phantom. It's an insane play, insane aim from Ashton. And we've said his game sense is good, but now you're seeing his aim as well. He's looking unstoppable at the moment.
Tripling his kills in that one round alone. What an incredible round from Ashton. Able to get that first pick and then just spray down the rest of the team immediately after. This is looking really difficult for Metanoia to really stabilize this, because if they don't, we might be looking at a very, very, very strong attacking half from Matsumoto, just like we did on Ascent. And despite what we have in terms of historic matchups and battles, this is looking like it's going to go the way of Matsumoto.
Showstopper already pushing in for B long, but I don't think. Yeah, no, he wasn't able to spot out anyone. Brimstone, though, they don't expect him to be holding still from Hookah. Here's all the information, but did he actually trade out that first Viper? Showstopper whips a little bit. Red Sand, a lot of trouble. He phases to the floor a little bit, though. Camera sees the plant going down towards Truck, and that chip is still there, and the Brimstone with the flank. He doesn't really see this. He has an operator, though. Now we're running at him. Finally gets the kill. Oh, man.
I love it when operator players pull out the shotty and get a kill.
It's Brimstone, by the way, of all people. And again, Asune with the flank. I don't think they really expect him here. Might be able to catch Digny off here, but holds the trigger just for now.
No, he looks around.
What?
Why did he turn?
No, what? Yeah, no, sorry. You had zero information to play off of. And he suddenly flicks straight to the head of Dr. Prostate. And in an instant, he's gone. His head is ripped off.
A real check him PC moment as Digny just turns around 180 degrees with no information at all just feeling his spidey senses tingling, the hairs on the back of his neck racing, and he gets the head perfectly.
That last second consideration was everything. Just that last second decision, and already the Brimstone ult to clear U-Haul, the double satchel once again from Nier, just to get into the site. With a charge again, and blam blam, there it is.
Gets another.
Gone. Quick take onto A, it's just gone completely, and Anaheim. And the operator shorty combo live was once again on an agent you never expected to be on.
You never. I mean, Matsumoto doing some incredible things on the attack half. I'm still in shock with so many of this. I mean, Nier still holding on to that Judge. Anaheim still holding on to that operator.
If they lose this next round, by the way, Metanoia's economy is broken. They are going to be crying in a corner after this one. And by the way, the stark contrast from when we said Metanoia was going to dominate Bind, but look at the score at the moment, it's 2-7.
This is the most important round that Metanoia will play in this series, because if they lose this, I mean, it's a single elimination tournament. If they lose this round, I think that might be map. I think that might give Matsumoto too many rounds on attack here for Metanoia to be able to retake this map and the series.
I can sense so much confidence from TMT here.
Here was my copy.
But there goes a Judge. It finally falls to Malik.
An important first kill for the first time for the side of METANOIA here.
Yeah, for once they actually slow things down. Flash doesn't actually get Prostate, who's still holding from the smoke in a little bit of a closer position here, but any spam through the smoke could spell the death of Dr. Prostate right here. They're looking at each other, and there it is. Ashton actually to get rid of that
Spike
Viper stick
down,
finally.
B.
Malik now with a 3K.
One
Seekers
enemy remaining.
detecting the last one, and Asmay quick to the trigger. Finds
Such-
Diggy before the jellyfish does.
Such a vital round for the side of METANOIA here to pick up that and to kind of break that streak. The first round they've won in 8 rounds. To hopefully get at least 5 rounds on the defense here to maybe have a chance on winning this map.
Now they're angry. Look at it. Nier now switching over to a Vandal, and Asane, the Sky now with an operator in their hands. They're just going to try fighting fire with fire as Anaheim holds on to the rebuy, and their economy is still looking very healthy. But compared to previous rounds, they're slowing things down a little bit here, just playing a bit more default here, trying to get more information.
Going a lot slower this round. Oh my god, it gets
The
another
moment
one
we
with the,
say that, it's a Brimstone with an operator who has a spike, by the way. If he went down, that would have been a disaster. But now they're going to flood in towards A, and again, Gojo holding from U-Haul.
He
Trips
fought
not even.
He fought another operator and came out on top as
I
Brimstone
know
with the spike.
exactly where
What
you are.
an incredible map from Ashton.
Precision not even needed for Gojo. He finally goes down.
planted.
Malik trying to land the headshot into heaven. Oh no, Action wins the duel, and finally
player
Nier
standing.
satcheling up to heaven. Catches Zan off guard, just going that fast. Anaheim though, again with the operator. And Dr. Prostate now alone has to hold on to that one gun. I was about to mention that finally METANOIA is able to bring back their economy, but it's back down again.
A disastrous fight in heaven, playing whack-a-mole and not getting a single point. Terrible fight. Gunfight
He
etiquette,
reveals
and
himself.
as soon as METANOIA are able to, recover a little bit in this half,
Last round before the
TITO
switch.
right back at it, getting another round up to 3 and 8. I know that 9-3 is a curse, but this is looking a little too difficult for the side of METANOIA.
Yeah, it's looking rough for METANOIA, and you'd really want to see them on attack. I feel like that could be their comfort point, but it's looking way too rough at the moment, and especially in this last round for the half, and a broken by even half shields for Asane. They do have a lot of ultimates in their pocket here, but Nier caught by that trip, not able to get past it, and Malik actually getting RKZ from all the way behind, and now the counter showstopper going in. Gojo not spotted behind that cage!
remaining.
Gets out of the Viper
Spike
split,
down,
just as it goes down in a massive 3K to get that flawless last round for METANOIA. That's huge. We were talking
Switching
about the
sides.
3-9 curse, and it's finally broken. Even if it was a 3-9 curse, I'd say 11-2 is more of a curse at this point.
At this point, but I think, maybe Matitomoto actually gave them that round to avoid the 3-9 curse. Probably not, but regardless, on the side of METANOIA, I mean, it's 4-8, and I think 4 of those rounds really came on the back of Gojo, who has been incredible for the side of METANOIA, sitting at 18 and 7, by far the top fragger, not just in his team, but in the server. Will he be able to keep up that same kind of performance on attack? Probably not. He's a sentinel, but they're gonna need it.
I mean, by looking at their compositions, right? Especially METANOIA switching up their composition for this map. We're still expecting a very defense-heavy hold here, but again, the really early B-long control, and RKZ getting all the kills he needs, but finally gets traded out by Asane.
Falling through the
Crossing
whale, much like Sirius Black did in the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh wait, hold on, they got the information, now they're crossing, and Nier here to possibly get a pinch, and the timing onto Dr. Prostate if he's not
One
aware,
enemy
and he hears
remaining.
the last footsteps, throws a nade
Spike
just as
down,
though
attackers
Asane
Right on
using
him.
a flashing. But yeah, that's near already with such massive value.
Oh no, what a devastating pistol round for the side of Metanoia. They really needed that to initiate their comeback. Losing pistol and then potentially losing the anti-eco here. That's difficult. That puts them at 410, a potential 410, and a very, very difficult map to recover in.
I mean, we've seen Anaheim on an operator, but now we see a Viper on a Marshall. What are your thoughts on a wall controller using a Marshall at the moment?
Buying full shields to really putting everything into this round. Anaheim, the complete opposite, not buying anything.
Yeah, but Digny actually with a pick on with a ghost, and
Decides to use his other gun instead.
they have a Vandal. That's one Vandal and a bit of a weaker buy, but Sheriffs are still dangerous, just like that. Zan with a trade onto Ashen and near. So getting rid of
One
Zan.
enemy remaining.
Quick
Last
scope onto
player
it.
standing.
What?
Whoa,
Ooh,
you
what
got
just
two.
happened? No, it's down to 1v1. The Vandals and all the good guns are down, but Anaheim now with only a ghost.
Dr. Prosted not expecting a flank this early, but still planting in a way that... Oh no, there we go.
Does have a share, he does have a Spectre as well, but Anaheim through the smoke. He lands a headshot onto Dr. Prostate, and that was way too risky. If they find the Vandal, they do. I guess that's worth it, but that's a lot of guns stripped away from TMT, and I don't know how to feel about that one, to be honest.
That was a very, very good save round for the side of Metanoia there. A potential in on this round, but it's still a full buy for the side of Matitamoto. And I don't know. It's almost a full buy. I mean, Matitamoto still has the opportunity to make it to 4-11. This is still very difficult. A big shame that they couldn't win that round.
They are fast pushing towards A, though, when Malik tried to slide in for the entry, not able to as Digny gets rid of him, but Zan with the trade onto Digny.
Heal up, squad.
Trying to recuperate as Asane heals up. Zan slowing things down. They still have a rifle advantage for Metanoia. Nothing yet, they're just cutting noise here.
They've slowed down this round a lot from the side of Metanoia, really just looking for information, looking to get a pick so that they can even out their numbers and then execute on a side that they think has less or fewer people. But they're heading back towards the stack. It's 3-on-3 take on the side.
Those Cypher trips are still down. They weren't actually getting rid of by Malik, who slid in. Even that Broombot to slow them down might even spot a person. Wait.
Oh my god! How did it miss everybody?
I think the Broombot is a stormtrooper, guys. It's a paid actor as a nade now to chuck a bit of the damage onto them. The trips again, they're being risky here.
Oh
And
my
here,
god.
with that adjustment onto both Dr. Prostate and Asane, that is a clean hold. Finally, they get themselves another round. It is currently 11-4, and it's looking grim for Metanoia.
Near resetting that aim, getting, being patient with his shots, getting two great kills. This is looking impossible for Metanoia. A 4-11, so dominant from the team that lost Bayern previously against a team that decimated their opponents on Bayern previously.
We still have to look at the Sheriffs, so as they've always been dangerous in this matchup, but now you're seeing it as well. Anaheim back on that operator as Brimstone.
This time on defense, perhaps a little easier for him, not having to push.
Already
Digny on this half.
Might put Zan here.
Digny on this half.
Oh, the whiffs are going left and right. Asane able to get that though. Malik with a stinger as well. 5 HP left on Asane, and they're in a bit of a pinch here. Oh, can't really win that long range duel as RKZ also here to hold the backside. After the pinch, and Anaheim, there it is again. The Brimstone operator to get the final kill, and it is a match point and series point.
Match point.
For TMT.
Digny has been so good on this defensive half, getting multi-kills, at least one every round it seems like. And while on the other hand, Gojo unable to keep up his performance from the defense. This is looking a bit done. I can't see them having a way back into it. 8 chances for Matitamoto and 8 chances to lose for the side of Metanoia here.
Yeah, I mean, that is a long climb to go for, and even looking at the ultimates that are available at the moment for TNT, it's the showstopper information out for it, and that dog doesn't even clear that tripwire. Now the showstopper already aggressing towards it, and they didn't try to stop it, but that's Zan gone already.
Down A.
Ascent with a trade, that's massive. And but RKZ already there to support, and the spam might be good for now. Digny also responding to it, and now it's left to a 4v2. That those ults are still down. The spike also in their hands. Not able to get that Viper spit down just in time, but they do have the information.
Last
As
player standing.
Dr.
It's a
Prostate not able
1v4,
to get that
1v3.
click, and it's Gojo left in a 1v2 situation. Flashed out just to get in time. He flashed up, and Ashton now secures a kill, secures the matchup. That is series point and the series win for TNT. Matitomo are the winners for your matchup today. That was a
What?
really good and close game. That was
What
fun
an
to watch.
incredible match! What an incredible map from Matitomoto. Dominant on the attack and dominant on the defense as well. Even more dominant on the defense, even not losing a single defensive round. Wow. I mean, I'm in awe from both Gojo from the side of Metanoia and Digny on the side of Matitomoto.
I do have to give, again, I have to recognize the players coming from Metanoia. They really put up a show here. And again, Gojo top fragging at 20 and 12 on a Cypher on Bind. And looking at Anaheim, you know, a lot of value from that Brimstone, just locking them out. A lot more synergy coming out this time for Matitomo. And the 2 kills, actually, the first bloods. Probably the operator picks. We've just seen a really strong performance. If they keep this up, they're going to, I'd say they'd win the whole tournament. I don't know who they're going to be against. I haven't really studied the other teams, but this is a strong team coming into this competition, and I'd love to see them progress even further.
Absolutely. I mean, coming in, they went down to the lower bracket in their first game in the tournament in this comeback cup, and they have really come back since, being very dominant in every game they've played since, for the side of Matitomoto, of course. And now again, another dominant, at least for the second map, a dominant win against probably the favorites of this matchup of Metanoia, who have been dominant fully until now. So again, like you said, a great match to start off the playoffs and a great confidence booster for the side of Matitomoto. And unfortunately, it is single elimination, so that is all that we'll see from Metanoia, I believe.
We could always wait till next time if they do come back for another tournament. And I mean, I still have a lot of faith for Team Metanoia. They do dominate. They can show a lot of potential. And you see it in the way they play, the way they make their calls and work as a team. It is so good. You really cannot count any team out, especially in the playoffs. And guys, this is only no, not even semifinals. It's a quarterfinals. So what more can we see when it comes into the semis? What more if it's the grand final? I want to see a lot of close matches. I was hoping for maybe a map 3, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But on the good side of things, of course, congratulations to Team Matitomoto. And yeah, that was a good match.
That was a phenomenal match. And, you know, everyone should stay tuned for the next matchup that's coming up. It's also bound to be a banger. And, you know, we want to thank everybody for watching. This was such a good match. And we hope that you'll stick around for the next one.